Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Own Wall Street with the trader's perspective, taking a look at gold, starting the analysis off at the daily time frame. And today was a very, very big disappointing day for the bulls overall. The anxiety that occurred overnight, with the Dow futures being down as much as 530 points in one time, everything pretty much went back the other way, and gold is a perfect example of that here. As you can see, the wick was huge. We went all the way up to about 1347, 1348 even, and then completely failed to hold any gains whatsoever, pushing all the way back down to essentially yesterday's close or just above yesterday's close. So that's still below the 23.6 fib that I have here. I am still expecting fully that the price should come back down to around 1326 from that level. If we do not hold that area, essentially, and 1326 is pretty crucial. And looking at the bigger picture, looking at the weekly time frame and so on, it's not crucial in a way that it would really change the, let's say, weekly, monthly time frame. It just would mean that we were going to have to work through a little bit more time of consolidation before we saw that big breakout that everybody's looking for, including myself. So essentially 1326 would mean that we would start basing at a higher level and then start grinding our way, upwards this way. If we happen to break below 1326, which I do believe could be possible and quite probable at this point in time, as I do think that the dollar is going to get a little bit of upside movement going here to the 90 20s, at least 90.40 level, and then onwards to a max extension around that 91.50 60 level. So watch that video, you'll see where I'm going with that. Gold should reverse back. I think that we'll see a little bit of calmness come back into the overall marketplace. That being said, do you think that the stock market indices or U.S. indices will continue to march up higher? Where to? If you have any questions, you can go ahead and email me. I have all that already under my belt for the day, so to speak. So, looking at gold overall, pretty bearish here, closing just near that 50-period moving average. A whole bunch of things going on here with really looks like another downward push coming to at least the 1326 level. If that should crack or we are unable to bounce back above 1333, then I believe we get hammered back down to at least 1313, maybe even seeing another push down to around 1310 or so before we start to see the price start to get itself together and then move back upwards. So let's see how that all plays out. But again, to go over the whole spiel, looking at up and down movement throughout, let's go to the hourly chart to kind of see what we're dealing with on the lower level. And on the lower level here overnight, you're going to pretty much be looking at what's happening between these two areas here. And if I zoom out, you can see that that's basically the resistance that we were following along with here. And then we started, seeing some new selling pressure come in at a different angle, or, perceived as a different angle. So all that being said, we've been seeing liquidation here, nice pop up here, and then further liquidation coming in. Failed golden cross here, and I'm looking for a little bit of a push up here to around 1334 maybe, and then looking for a nice move back down ultimately to, like I said, around that 1326 area. From there, if we end up holding, that'll be a pretty nice bullish stand, I would say. That would be my preferred outcome, but again, we're looking at what the market will do, not necessarily our preferences whatsoever. So all that being said, 1326 is something I'm looking for in a highly probable way. Below that, I would say you're going to be targeting towards those lower 1300s, around 1310, maybe even around the 1308s could make appearance. But then I believe we will see an aggressive bid come in for gold at those levels. So that's the area to pretty much be going long at. 1326 is basically just a midway point at this point in time for me, and I would be looking for this to be stabilized and confirmed support before I would be thinking about taking any long positions at the 1326 level. I am still, again, looking for lower prices of gold, and that is reflected in the daily time frame. It's pretty easy to see. Break below the 1326 level. I mean, you're going to the next fib, which is 38.2, around 1315, possibly dipping a little bit lower to those 1312s, and again 1308 could make an appearance, but then I imagine we'll see a pretty big demand and bid come in for gold at that price, and then we'll start trying to push sideways along this trend line and then march our ways back up. So that's the overall picture of what I'm seeing. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can go ahead and leave them at the bottom of the video or email me directly with any questions you may have. thetradersperspective@gmail.com. I hope you all have a wonderful and green trading for the remainder of the week. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Have a wonderful evening.